Hi, students. I'm going to be reading chapter 2 in our book, Why Chicken Means So Much to Me. Students who want to do okay on the quiz will listen and read this chapter one time. Students who want to get an A plus will probably listen two times. And the second time, they'll probably translate some of the words that they need or the words that they don't understand. They might even practice reading along and practice their pronunciation in English, right? It's up to you. What kind of a student are you? Chapter 2, Why Chicken Means So Much to Me. Okay, so now you know that I'm a cartoonist, and I think I'm pretty good at it too. But no matter how good I am, my cartoons will never take the place of food or money. I wish I could draw a peanut butter and jelly sandwich or a fistful of $20 bills and perform some magic trick and make it real. But I can't do that. Right? Do you see the picture of the man doing a magic trick? I wish I were magical, but I'm really just a poor ass reservation kid living with his poor ass family on the poor ass Spokane Indian Reservation. That's the name of his reservation. Do you know the worst thing about being poor? Huh. Maybe you've done the math in your head and you figure poverty equals empty refrigerator plus empty stomach. And sure, sometimes my family misses a meal, and sleep is the only thing we have for dinner, right? That means that you don't have food for dinner, you just go to sleep and you try to forget that your stomach is so hungry. Sleep is the only thing we have for dinner, but I know that sooner or later my parents will come bursting through the door with a bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken. Original recipe. Guys, Kentucky Fried Chicken is like Popeyes or Crowns. It's like a fast food chicken restaurant. And hey, in a weird way, being hungry makes food taste better. There is nothing better than a chicken leg when you haven't eaten for 18 and a half hours. A good piece of chicken can make anybody believe in the existence of God. Hunger is not the worst thing about being poor. So, okay, I'll tell you the worst thing. Last week, my best friend and dog, Oscar, got really sick, right? Oscar is the name of Junior's dog, okay? At first, I thought he was just too hot or something. I mean, it was a crazy hot July day, and plenty of people were falling over from the heat, so why not a little dog? I tried to give him some water, but he didn't want any of that. He was lying on his bed with red, watery, snotty eyes. He cried in pain. When I touched him, he yelped like crazy. Guys, this word yelp, this means like a dog cry, right? Dogs don't go, when a dog cries, they yelp. And a yelp sounds like this, right? It's a dog cry, okay? I thought he'd be okay, but then he started vomiting and diarrhea blasted out of him. And he had these seizures, right? He's shaking. He had these seizures where his little legs just kicked and kicked and kicked. And sure, Oscar was only a dog, but he was the only living thing that I could depend on. He was more dependable than my parents, grandmother, aunts, uncles, cousins, and big sister. He taught me more than any teachers ever did. Honestly, Oscar was better than any human I had ever known. Mom, I said, we have to take Oscar to the vet. He'll be all right, she said. But she was lying. He's really sick, Mom, I said. He's going to die if we don't take him to the doctor. She looked hard at me. Junior, sweetheart, Mom said, I'm sorry, but we don't have any money for Oscar. I'll pay you back, I said. I promise. Honey, it'll cost hundreds of dollars, maybe 1,000. I'll pay back the doctor. I'll get a job. Mom smiled, all sad, and hugged me hard. Geez, how stupid was I? What kind of job can a reservation Indian boy get? There were no jobs on the res, right? So in the place where he lives, on the Indian reservation, it's not easy. You can't just find a job. There aren't any jobs for anyone. There's very, very, very little money. There was nothing I could do to save Oscar. Nothing, nothing, nothing. So I lay down on the floor beside him and I patted his head and I whispered his name for hours. And then Dad came home and had one of those long talks with Mom, and they decided something without me. And then Dad pulled down his rifle and bullets from the closet. This is a rifle. Junior, he said, carry Oscar outside. No, I screamed. He's suffering, Dad said. We have to help him. You can't do it, I shouted. I wanted to punch my dad in the face, right? Punch. I wanted to punch my dad in the face. I wanted to punch him in the nose and make him bleed. I wanted to punch him in the eye and make him blind. I wanted to kick him in the balls and make him pass out. I was hot mad, volcano mad, tsunami mad. Dad just looked down at me with the saddest look in his eyes. He was crying. He looked weak. I wanted to hate him for his weakness. I wanted to hate Mom and Dad for our poverty. I wanted to blame them for my sick dog, right? Blame is when you say it's your fault, right? You're the one responsible. I wanted to blame them for my sick dog and for all the other sicknesses in the world, but I can't blame my parents for our poverty because my mother and father are the most important people to me, and my world would explode without them. It's not like my mother and father were born into wealth, right? They weren't born into money. My parents came from poor people who came from poor people who came from poor people all the way back to the very first poor people. Seriously, I know my mother and father had their dreams when they were kids. They dreamed about being something other than poor, but they never got the chance to be anything because nobody paid attention to their dreams. Given the chance, my mother would have gone to college. She still reads books like crazy. She buys bags of them, and she remembers everything she reads. Given the chance, my father would have been a musician. When he gets drunk, he sings old country songs, and he sounds good, like he should be on the radio. He plays the guitar and the piano a little bit, and he has this old saxophone from high school that he keeps all clean and shiny. like he's going to join a band at any moment. This is a saxophone, guys. That's the picture of a saxophone. But we reservation Indians, we don't get to realize our dreams. We don't get those chances or choices. We're just poor. That's all we are. It sucks to be poor. That means it feels really bad. And it sucks to feel that you somehow deserve to be poor. You start believing that you're poor because you're stupid and ugly. And then you start believing that you're stupid and ugly because you're Indian. And because you're Indian, you start believing that you're destined to be poor, that you're always going to be poor. It's an ugly cycle, right? A cycle is something that continues again and again and again. And there's nothing you can do about it. Poverty doesn't give you strength or teach you lessons about determination. No, poverty only teaches you how to be poor. So poor and small and weak. I picked up Oscar. He licked my face, right? Lick is like this. That's like a dog kiss, right? He licked my face because he loved and trusted me. And I carried him outside to the lawn, and I laid him down beneath our green apple tree. I love you, Oscar, I said. He looked at me, and I swear to you that Oscar understood what was happening. He knew what Dad was going to do. I ran away from there as fast as I could. I wanted to run faster than the speed of sound, but nobody can run that fast. So I heard the boom of my father's rifle when he shot my best friend. A bullet only costs 2 cents, and anybody can afford that. So that's chapter 2. Take a moment, look up some of the words that you need, and then read it one more time. Yeah? You'll get an A+ on the test.